Hi, this is Julie Meyerowitz of HearMyWordsAutism.com. So in the group this week, I might share a video of myself, but I'm not going to share an interview. I want to take the opportunity this week to reflect and go deeper into a really important concept that Sharon Sargent shared in her interview that was featured in the group last week, or and that's the contrast between static intelligence and dynamic intelligence. So kind of think of this as a multiple intelligences approach to what's happening with autism. And like all of us have areas where we're stronger and areas that we need to build up over time. So the RDI definition of autism, or a large part of it, is um, that somebody is much stronger in the area of static intelligence, but struggles more in the area of dynamic intelligence. So we've got to talk about what are these things. So static intelligence, and both of these concepts could be defined in different ways, but the way that I tend to talk about static intelligence when I'm sharing these concepts with families is it's kind of like having a shelf, having different boxes on the shelf. So you might have a box called math, and in that box you have numbers and formulas and different concepts that go with math, and you can put that on your shelf. And you might have a box called history, and you might have history of different countries and different events during different wars. You might have a box called science. You might have boxes within that box. That you might have like a sub box for physics and all of the concepts of physics that you know, and a sub box for biology and anatomy and physiology. And like these boxes could get smaller and smaller and more detailed and more refined. Another way that a lot of people think of static intelligence would be like knowing rules and knowing facts and knowing discrete skills and knowing like the way things are done. So that's we need that. It's very important. We need to be able to access our static intelligence. Um, Dynamic intelligence, on the other hand, might be more associated with intuition and knowing how, or trusting yourself, and being able to deal with change and deal with the unexpected and knowing what to do when things are gray. I guess I'm wearing my sweatshirt in honor of static or dynamic intelligence at the moment. And so more recently, one of the ways that I've thought of this is that if you're like stringing a necklace, as an analogy, that the static intelligence would be like the beads on a necklace, and the dynamic intelligence would be like the string that holds it together. So this is where we might see somebody who might be very intelligent in a lot of ways, but not apply it in a way that works in all situations, particularly when in situations that where there are unexpected elements or things aren't fitting the rules. Um, and so the RDI understanding of a lot of what's going on in autism is that the static intelligence is stronger in comparison to the dynamic intelligence, and that's where a lot of the struggles come in. And this is a tricky thing to study and to certainly to measure. And I think this is why this understanding and this way of doing things is kind of coming later in the game, as opposed to approaches that focus on skills and discrete knowledge. And also it's harder because it's dealing with what's harder. In autism, what tends to be stronger is the ability to follow rules and to understand rules, um, and to gain facts and to know patterns. Very good with patterns a lot of times. where the struggle comes in, and it's easier to build that because the foundation is stronger there. And that's something that ABA is very good at, is building these skills and discrete knowledge, things like that. What continues to be challenging, and sometimes is made more challenging by focusing just on that area, is knowing how to apply these discrete skills in unexpected situations. So for this week, I'm gonna, in the group, share kind of a little bit of a game that I often share with clients when we're first being introduced to these concepts. And I'm going to share some videos. Every day I'm going to share a different video and sort of like throw it out to the group. What do you think you're seeing here? Do you think this is an example of static intelligence or dynamic intelligence? And I welcome everybody's responses. I hope that folks will like dive in and share their ideas. And some of these things that I'm going to share can be seen in different ways. We could think dynamically about them. So I'm looking forward to how everybody engages with this week. Thank you.